Alright, this is the video for the first project in Graphic Design 2, and let's get right to it. Some things we're going to work on that I want you to learn are transparency, guidelines using snap, ruler, planning. These are from my notes, so it's not quite done yet. So let's get right to it. First I want to do is planning. Okay, and here's the kind of look of the final project you're going to make. Yours is going to look a lot different from this, but we are going to have your own sections like this. Okay, the things that are different is you can pick somebody different. This is a character from Mortal Kombat, the video game. You can pick your own colors, but I do want you to have your sections like this. So if you do want to choose some kind of a character, it might be a good idea. And we're working with opacity here, which is kind of interchangeable with transparency. So as the opacity gets less and less, you can see this person kind of fade, especially when you get down here, and then it's almost gone. You can barely see like a ghost shadow of when we get down to 10%. So this is the finished product. Mine's going to look a little different because I'm going to take you through a little different. Okay, so we need to open up Photoshop. Okay, so I have it over here, and we need to have a background picture. Okay, we'll do this later. But you can just go find any background picture you want to use. I really don't care, but we need some kind of a background picture for your project. But first, let's set it up. So I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to say this is going to be 750 by 560. Okay, and I want to use 100 for resolution. Okay, and my background contents are going to be white. Okay, if you want to use different numbers than me, that's fine. I'm just saying I'm going to base it off these, so if you follow those numbers, it's going to go a lot smoother for you and look better when you're done. Okay, so then I want to plan this out. Okay, let me just back up a little bit here. Yours will look like this ahead of time. Okay, without the rulers and everything in there. Okay, so we want to create these sections right now. All right, so I want to go to View and check off Rulers, and View and check off Extras. Okay, now I want to set those sections up. If I take 560 and divide it by 2, that gives me, was it 280? Yeah, right? Okay, and see I'm there at 280. Okay, and this is invisible. Okay, you're not going to see this, so don't worry about these. If I would turn my extras off, I don't see those, but they're there to help you plan. Okay, and then I'm going to make my other sections. So what are those? 750 divided by 5. Actually, better get this out quick. 150. So every 150, I want to do that. So oops. There we go. That's 300. That's 450 and 600. Okay, so now I have my 10 equal sections. And the reason I have 10 is because I want to go to 100% down to pretty much 0%. The last one will be 10%. But so that's good for now, okay? And now I want to draw some lines, because these really aren't lines, these are just called guides, okay? So I'm going to click on the shape tool here, and I'm going to select a color, okay? I don't really care what color you choose, or thickness, that's a good thickness, you don't want it too thick, so I'm just going to pick red for now. Okay, the stroke is how thick, or the fill color on the center. So if you go along here, it's going to use, if you watch it when you get close, it's called snap. It jumps there. So I want snap turned on. I'm pretty sure I have snap turned on. Okay, probably want that. I don't want an outside color, so that's, maybe I'll redraw that line. Okay, so no fill color, even though it kind of doesn't make sense. Fill, you'd think would be filling it in, but so I'm going to draw, oops, back up again. Okay, if we zoom in, hopefully I did everything right. Okay, you can see that's red. Alright. So I'm going to do that for all my lines. Okay. And if I want to see what it's going to look like, I can turn my guides off. There's my lines, and everything's sectioned out perfectly. Okay, and I really don't need these anymore, so I can leave those extras off now. Okay. Next is bringing in a background picture. Like I said, choose your own background picture. I'm going to use this. This picture is much bigger, so I'm going to have to transform it. So I'm going to select all, and then copy, and paste. Okay. And now notice this happens. That means this is over the top of everything. I don't want that, so I have to drag this down to the bottom level, and then I see my lines again. Okay. Then I'm ready to put my pictures in. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna do my labels first. So I'm gonna say, pick a font that you like. I don't really care what it is. I used Forte. You can use anything you really like. How about this? Okay, it's too big right now. I'm not going to worry about it quite yet. And I don't like that color. Opacity 100%. Okay, way too big. Okay, so I could have either fixed this with a text, or I can just press Control T, stands for transform, and I shrink it down to a good size. And it's kind of hard to read, so maybe I'll stretch it out a tad too. That could be too, because this is a smaller version of this picture, so I guess I won't worry too much about how small it is right now, assuming I'll be able to read it when I'm done. Okay, so that's going to be my 100% picture. I'll just do one more. I'm only going to do two. I'm not going to fill in all these because that'll take too long for this video. So I'm going to copy this layer. And if you want to name everything, fine. If you think you can handle it without, that's great because it saves you some time. And then I'm going to move it down over here. Okay, and then instead of 100%, this is going to say 10. Okay, because we're going to go from 100 all the way down to 10. Okay, we're good. Now we're ready to put our person in, or our picture, or image, whatever you want to call it. So I have this guy called Raiden from a video game. Okay, too big. So I'm going to bring him down in size till he fits in this little box, like so. Adjust him a little bit, and he's good to go. Place. Okay, that's that one, and the next one would be 90%, 80%, 70%, and so on. Okay. I'm going to, just so I don't have to re-transform him and everything, I'm just going to copy this image again. I mean this layer, and put him over here. Okay, you're going to have a lot of layers, so you want to know how to use these. I mean, I already have this many, and I'm going to have a lot more still. So if you want to name them, that's fine. Another tip you can do if you're not sure which layer you're on is to use the eye. So when I turn this off, I know that's my layer, and I know that's my 10% copy. So now if I go down to opacity, that's basically how transparent something is, and I go down to 10%. It's hard to get there. Oops, you can also type it in. There's my guy. And look, if you can really barely see him. Okay, I can kind of tell a little bit of an outline. He's there, so that's my 10%. And then you're going to fill in everything in between. Okay? When you're done, then save it in your folder. And you can save it as a Photoshop file, that way I can see all your layers. Okay, so save as, and you can just call it Project 1. I'm just going to save it here for now. And save it, and I'm done. Okay, Then when you get done, you'll have, I'll just show the finished from before, you'll have something that looks like this with 100% all the way down to 90% opacity. Biggest part of that is just using the opacity right here, this tool, to make him more opaque, the person or the object more opaque or less. Okay, and I think that's about it.